Good afternoon and welcome to Coffee with Cooper Eagle. I am Becky. I'm part of the Cooper Eagle team, and I am here with Andrew Cooper and Jacob George. They're both certified financial planners. So I'm going to actually let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit more about them.
Thanks, Becky. Hey, guys, I'm Andrew. I'm the founder and president of Cooper Eagle. We wanted to put these sessions together just to provide high-level information and topics on some frequently asked questions that we get from our clients. I'm a retired CPA, so I love this topic because it meshes financial planning items as well as tax items.
Yeah, and I'm Jacob George, also a financial planner at Cooper Eagle. I love retirement, studying retirement, planning for retirement, and that's what I focus on. So I love financial education, and I'm excited for this.
Great. Thank you both. So I did not mention what we are here for. We are here to talk about Roth conversions. We have had quite a few clients come in asking us about this process and what this is. So we thought we would talk a little bit about it. So I'll start with a very basic question. What is a Roth IRA and what is a Roth conversion?
Yeah, Becky, I'll start with that one. The Roth IRA and or Roth 401k is money that has been taxed. Your earnings have been taxed by the federal government with their federal income taxes, and you put it into a retirement vehicle, and the Roth IRA will continue to grow, or the Roth 401k tax free because everything inside of a retirement umbrella grows tax free. The nice thing about the Roth source options in retirement accounts and retirement plans is that when you take the money out, and we inevitably will all take the money out for ourselves or for our heirs, that money is exempt from federal taxes. So we're here talking about Roth conversions because some of our clients want to take their pre-tax or traditional IRA or 401k money and move it into a Roth source that it can grow over time and be withdrawn tax-free. Jacob, is that a nice summary?
Yeah, couldn't have put it better.
Yeah. All right, good.
So why would a person want to do this, or what problem is this solving?
Yeah, so along that same thought, the Roth conversion, choosing to pay taxes now is because you think you would pay more taxes on that same amount later. So essentially, by incurring these taxes when we choose at the present, it could avoid large unnecessary RMD withdrawals that come at us later.
Mm.
Um, it could help us pay taxes while both members of, you're married filing jointly, both you and your wife have that income coming in, rather than one of you filing single on this income later on. Um,
Mm.
Another reason people might do it is because they suspect that tax rates might increase in the future, and they want to pay them now. So that's a variety of reasons people might entertain the idea of a Roth conversion.
All right. And then are there any times or any reasons why someone would not want to do this?
Yeah, fair question, Becky. And we get that question periodically also. And the short answer is most times you want to do a Roth conversion, it's because you're focusing on the long term. So the IRS has some guidelines about the money staying in for 5 years, or at least until you're 59 and a half. There are a couple of exceptions that allow you to get at least some of your money out sooner, but generally keep in mind that 5 year rule. And then the other part of that is you might not want to do a Roth conversion right now because you might have a larger tax bill when you file your taxes. And most experts agree that you want to have enough tax on hand to cover the tax bill at the end of the tax year when you fill out your tax forms, file your taxes, to pay for that with the cash you have in a bank account and not have to sell other investments to fund this.
Okay. So we've kind of talked a little, high level, what it is, why we want to do it, why we might not want to do it, and so how would a person go about doing this, or when's the right time?
Yeah, the how would just be pretty simple initiation of you have your pre-tax funds and you would like to liquidate some of them so that that could be transferred into your I shouldn't even say that. Some custodians have the ability to do an in-kind transaction of your securities out of your
Yep.
pre-tax IRA into your Roth. So it's just initiating that transaction.
Yep.
Mhm.
So logistically, you need to have a Roth IRA set up at a custodian and traditional IRA, and it's relatively simple once you have the correct accounts open. And Becky, to your question of when, many, many, many different answers, very nuanced, but one fun, interesting strategy is you might want to initiate this when the stock market crashes, tanks, dips. I don't want to be dramatic, but if you have investments in a traditional IRA, let's just say $100,000, all in the S&P 500, and the S&P goes down by 20%, it might be a nice time to do some portion of that Roth conversion then, so that you're converting when your balances are low, because over time we have always seen historically the S&P 500 or investments come back up over a period of weeks or months or years. So that's a nice opportunity, a silver lining, if and when the market tanks, that you might want to initiate that Roth conversion then. But again, there are other considerations to take into account also, as Jacob alluded to earlier.
All right, thank you. So, we have pre-tax money, we have after-tax money. Is there a right percentage that someone should have of pre-tax and after-tax? Should it all be after-tax? Should it, I mean, we're talking about Roth conversion, so we're sort of saying it maybe shouldn't all be um, pre-tax, but so is there a right percentage, or I'm sure it's person to person, but
Mhm.
what do you think?
Yeah, my
Yeah,
initial, I'll throw something out there, Jacob, and I think the right answer is by the time a person gets to retirement, it would be nice to have at least some material portion of your portfolio in Roth and some material portion of your positions in uh, pre-tax or traditional IRA money. The hard part is Roth wasn't in existence until about 20 years ago. So many of the folks that are currently retired couldn't even do Roth contributions or Roth conversions for a long time. Um, my answer, Jacob, is at least some material portion of your portfolio. What do you think?
yeah, and those people who didn't have access to Roth sooner, by the time they did, their income was so high where it might not have even made sense.
Yep.
So there's a lot of pre-tax balances out there. To your point, and to Becky's initial question, like all good financial planning answers that we love to hate, is it depends, you know?
Yeah.
So I usually say I like to have a healthy mix of both or of all of your Roth, your after tax, your taxable, and then your pre-tax, because they all serve their purpose. And it would be useful to talking pre-tax today to still have enough to fill up desired tax brackets, fill up that standard deduction all the days of your life, and
Mhm.
so and then on the other side, it helps to have, after tax or taxable money to fill income needs whenever you have a high expense year that you maybe weren't
Yep.
expecting. So,
Yep. Becky, a couple additional points, right? A staple of the investment management industry is asset allocation and diversification, right? So just like
Mm.
that's important on the investment management side, the Roth portions of money, it's nice to have income tax diversification or investment bucket diversification, specifically with Roth money and pre-tax money.
Okay. Well, you've answered all the questions on my list. Are there any final thoughts that you have, Jacob or Andrew?
Jacob, could you speak very briefly to QCDs and why that might
sure.
be important for folks that have traditional money?
Yeah. On that topic before of what is the right tax allocation of tax to pre-tax. If you are more charitably inclined, it would make sense to tilt your proportions a little more towards pre-tax than if somebody wasn't giving. Because after 70 and a half, your giving to qualified organizations, whether it's church or other charities you care about, can come directly out of your IRAs in a way that is tax free and doesn't have any effect on making your Social Security more taxable or IRMA or any of those retirement considerations that we think about. It's a really good way to give. And so for me, I hope I have enough pre-tax asset to last me to fill up at least my church contribution, all the days of my life. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really good. Thank you. And Becky, I think my final thoughts would be, as we all grow in our investing lives and retired lives, that are retired in their retirement years and withdrawing money, they say we wish we had more Roth money because we're now drawing down, and you have to take 20 or 25% withholdings if you want to have a neutral tax bill. So that hurts, taking 25% more money to withhold it so you don't have a big tax bill at the end of the year. So Roth is a really nice source to have. So I think everyone should have at least some source, some portion of Roth money and some portion of pre-tax money for drawdown and gifting purposes, the couple levers. And it's been really neat to work with Jacob and see him model some Roth conversions in our software that we use. So if you have any questions, most financial advisors should have scenario planning tools. Jacob, we definitely do. And you can see your net worth change, increase and or decrease over time as we model potential Roth conversions for your portfolio. So at the very least, we want you to be aware of this. And then why should you be aware of it? Because this could make you or your heirs more wealthy if you do this appropriately throughout your investing career. The big caveat is we can't predict the future. All of this is based on estimates and assumptions of a relatively steady federal income tax code, and we know that there are changes that can happen right along. So at the very least, it's worth modeling for your specific scenario, and we can help you with that.
Great. All right. Well, my cup is almost empty. So cheers. I just want to finish with a little a little disclaimer that we have to say. Every client scenario is different. Cooper Eagle LLC is a registered investment advisor. This is for general educational purposes and not to be taken as financial or tax advice. Please contact a certified financial planner or a tax advisor prior to making any changes to your portfolio. So thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Andrew. And stay tuned for our next topic.
thank you. See y'all later.
Thanks, Becky.